What's going on, everyone? This is Julian. I hope y'all are doing well and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. In this video we're going to be looking at some belated battles that I took in the Willpower Cup in Pokemon Go. And for those of you who don't know, the Willpower Cup is a very limited meta here in the Great League format with only the Fighting, Psychic, and Dark types that are allowed. And we're going to be featuring a team that is very strong, very powerful team that helped me climb quite a bit. And this is a team that's actually featured by Though Technical. And the team is around the Claydol, Mandibuzz, and Guzzlord. So Claydol is actually a very underrated pick here in the Willpower Cup because it has now Scorching Sands and Ice Beam, along with the new buffed fast move of Mud Slap. So again, as a refresher, Mud Slap got a buff this past season, doing more damage and also increasing the energy generation as well. So it is now very fast in getting to charge moves. Um, so for this meta, you will be wanting to run Ice Beam because of all the Mandibuzz that are going to be around here in this cup. So Mud Slap, Scorching Sands, and Ice Beam is the recommended moveset here on the Claydol. And in terms of the Mandibuzz moveset, you will definitely want to run Air Slash as opposed to Snarl as the fast move, and then Aerial Ace and Dark Pulse. You can also run Foul Play too, just for the Air Slash variant if you want to get to its charge moves quicker. And then of course Guzzlord in the back is actually a very cool pick. Guzzlord normally will want to run Brutal Swing and Sludge Bomb in the Great League, but for this format you will definitely want to be running Brutal Swing and Dragon Claw, because the Dragon Claw coverage is actually pretty good in this meta, with the exception of the Charmers as well. So that's basically the moveset here, and these are the teams that you will want to run. And of course, this team is very powerful, as I mentioned before. Very strong, very bulky too, especially with the Mandibuzz and the Guzzlord in the back. So that is the team, and I am going to be going ahead and commenting here on the rest of the commentary for this set of battles. And I was able to get a 3-2 or a 4-1, I think, in this specific set that I showcased. So that is the team, and I'm going to go ahead and farm down this Raichu when it comes back in. They try to catch a move, but basically the game is over. So that is going to be a good game. Well played. Moving on to the next battle here, we have Claydol in the lead up against a Claydol. So this is actually not too bad. I definitely do want to swap out of here at some point and then draw out something in the back that wants to that doesn't want to see, like that the Claydol doesn't want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in here, fire off an Ice Beam against their Claydol, and they do decide to give up a shield, which is fine. And then their Claydol is also going to be firing off a move, and I'm also going to be committing a shield here. So we'll just have to see what happens and who wins the cap tie for me against my opponent. So this is perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and fire off an Ice Beam here, but it unfortunately looks like I lose the cap tie. So I'm going to go ahead and let this move go. My Claydol has done its job, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave it up to the two Dark types I have in the back to sweep the end line. So I'm going to come with my Mandibuzz here. The only real thing that the Mandibuzz has to tank are the Ice Beams from the Claydol, but I can definitely survive at least one of the Ice Beams here. So I'm going to go ahead and let this Ice Beam go. It does a good chunk of damage here to the Mandibuzz, and I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Aerial Ace here just in case the opponent attempts to catch a Dark Pulse on something. So I'm definitely going to be able to get more farm, and unfortunately they do have a Gardevoir, so this is very bad for me, and I think I just lose this game, unfortunately, because I did not flip switch, and unfortunately for me the Claydol was the key to maintaining the alignment here. So I think for future matchups, if you do end up seeing a Claydol mirror match on the lead, definitely swap into like a Mandibuzz right away, and then you'll be able to draw out like a Charmer or something. So maybe the Guzzlord can have some alignment in the back. So hopping into the next battle here, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing now. Just hard swapping into my Mandibuzz here up against the Claydol mirror match. So I'm going to go ahead and keep farming here and see what my opponent wants to do. They're obviously going to be chipping me here with an Ice Beam, so I am going to let this move go. That is perfectly fine. And now they come in with a Quillfish. So this is actually perfect for me. I'm going to go ahead and now start firing off the Aerial Aces here up against the Quillfish. So it's going to do some very nice chip damage here. And then the Mandibuzz is still fairly bulky here. I'm going to go ahead and fire off Aerial Ace number 2 against this Quillfish. It is going to be doing some nice chip damage now. And we'll just have to see what my opponent wants to do. They do decide to shield, which is great for me. Going to go ahead and now continue to farm here. I am going to decide to let this move go. If it's an Aqua Tail, I can survive it. If it's an Ice Beam, so be it. So they do decide to fire off the Ice Beam, and I will take out my Quillfish, or my Mandibuzz, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and come back in with Claydol, take this move. I can definitely survive any move that they throw. They do go for an Ice Beam, so they'll do a lot of damage, and they do aggressively come back in with their Claydol, which is kind of interesting to me. And I'm going to go ahead and now fire off an Ice Beam against the opposing Claydol here, and then I'll see what my opponent wants to do. So I do have a good shield advantage, and I do decide to shield. So this is great for me. I'm going to go ahead and now come in with my Guzzlord here. And I'm going to go ahead and shield this move because the Scorching Sands will do a lot of damage here, even to the Guzzlord, because it is neutral. So I'm going to go ahead and shield, and they actually get off an Ice Beam, which is even better for me. So I'm going to go ahead and overfarm here as much as I can, and then go ahead and fire off the Dragon Claw. And it looks like it was a cap tie, so even better here for me. And this Dragon Claw from this range is definitely going to be enough to take out the Claydol. So we'll just have to see what my opponent has in the back. And it looks like they have a Skuntank, so this is actually pretty decent here for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Dragon Claw here up against the Skuntank. It's a Shadow Skuntank, it looks like. It'll do a very nice chunk of damage here. And there was a lot of stutter lag here. I'm going to go ahead and commit a shield against this Skuntank. And then I'm anticipating that the opponent is going to swap. So I'm going to go ahead and swap as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and Mud Slap down the Skuntank. And then also the Quillfish as well. So the opponent does decide to concede a match at that point. Well played to my opponent. Hopping into the next match here, we have Claydol up against a Greninja. So this is actually not a good lead for me. I'm going to go ahead and swap right away into my Mandibuzz and see what my opponent wants to do. So they are going to go ahead and stay in here for a little bit. I'm not going to throw in my move just yet. And they do decide to swap into a Quillfish. So this is okay. I have a lot of energy here on the Mandibuzz, so I'm just going to go ahead and start throwing the Aerial Aces here up against the Quillfish. So I'm going to go ahead and overfarm a little bit more, and then throw here. Again, the gameplay state wasn't really the best here. There was a lot of lag and just a lot of lag in general during the time that I played. But that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and now no shield this. I do decide to shield because I definitely want to flip switch because I want to align my Guzzlord up against the Greninja here. So I am able to Air Slash down the Quillfish, which is nice for me. And we'll have to see what my opponent decides to bring in again. They do decide to bring in the Greninja. And I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Aerial Ace here. Unfortunately, I do lose the Cap Tie again on the Greninja, so this is fine. A Hydro Cannon will not be enough to KO here from this range, so I'm definitely going to be able to fire off this Aerial Ace up against the Greninja. So this will be drawing the shield, which is nice for me. And then that's fine. I'm going to try to reach the next Aerial Ace, but I barely cannot. So now I'm going to go ahead and come in with my Guzzlord. It is a complete wall to the energy here from the Greninja, unless they're running Aerial Ace for some reason. So that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and eat this Hydro Cannon right here, and I'm going to shield here, and I'm going to go ahead and pivot back into my Claydol, because my Claydol now really has no play, because considering there's a Mandibuzz and there's also a Greninja, they're not really the best matchups here for Claydol. So I'm just going to go ahead and sack my Claydol right here. I do want to definitely chip this Mandibuzz if I can with an Ice Beam, but I'm going to completely sack the Claydol here after I throw off this move. So they do decide to shield, which is great for me. I'm going to go ahead and try to make it to an Ice Beam here, and I am actually barely able to, which is nice. This is actually very, very much needed chip damage here up against the Mandibuzz. So It's a good thing that I got this off, and then I'm very safely going to be able to let my Claydol go after here. And I do decide to try to swap back into the Greninja, and I have no intention of throwing a move here. This is perfectly fine. So I'm going to go ahead and let this Claydol go, and I'm going to go ahead and just farm down the Greninja with my Guzzlord, and then of course the Mandibuzz is pretty low at this point, so I'm just going to be able to fire off a Dragon Claw here. I can tank the next move that they throw, no problem. And this was a cap type, so again I can survive this first move. If they do make it to a second one, I will shield. So I am going to go ahead and let this Aerial Ace go, and then I'm just going to be able to hopefully farm down the Guzzlord, farm down with my Guzzlord here. So they do make it to one more Aerial Ace, but luckily I do have my shield remaining, so after I shield, this Dragon Tail will KO the Mandibuzz, and that is going to be a great game. Well played to my opponent. Hopping into the next battle here, we have Claydol on the lead up against a Gardevoir. So this is where you want to see Gardevoir on this team. You definitely do not want to have the Gardevoir aligned on your backline. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in here, obviously. This is my best matchup against the Gardevoir. And then continue to fire away with these Mud Slaps, and then try to fire off an Ice Beam for whatever reason. You really should be going for Scorching Sands, so this is definitely a misplay from me, but that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and and then I'm just going to go ahead and now pivot into my own Mandibuzz when they bring in their Claydol. So they try to catch another move on their Claydol, but that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and let this move go, obviously, because I want to soak all the damage on the Mandibuzz as best as I can. So this is fine. I'm going to go ahead and now overfarm a little bit and then fire off a move, a Dark Pulse here against this Claydol. So this is going to be doing some very nice damage to the Claydol if they decide to no shield, and which they don't. So I'm going to go ahead and now eat this move. I do decide to fire off the Aerial Ace here on the Captai, which is a mistake. So this is fine. I'm going to go ahead and now let this next Ice Beam go. I am going to be able to fire off this Aerial Ace to hopefully KO this Claydol or draw a shield. So they do let it go, and they come in with a Raichu. So they are basically ABA weak to Claydol, or not ABA weak. But that's okay. I'm now going to go ahead and come with Guzzlord here. I'm going to go ahead and soak all the damage here from this alone Raichu. I'm not going to be shielding anything, just because, well, actually I do decide to shield. They do go for a Wild Charge, and then I can threaten a move here, and I decided to catch. So this is actually okay here. I'm going to just go ahead and see if I can get as much damage as I can from the Mud Slaps here. And I'm able to get a couple of Mud Slaps worth of energy through, which is nice. But that Charm did so much damage. So I'm very, very close to back-to-back Brutal Swings here. And I'm barely enough energy to reach it. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off the back-to-back Brutal Swings here on this Raichu. And this is definitely going to be sealing the deal here. More than enough to take out the Raichu from this range. So very, very close endgame, but very well played to my opponent there for very close battle. And that's really what you want to do with the Charm leads. You want to stay in with Claydol and play out that matchup as best as you can. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. A very powerful team in the Willpower Cup. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to give this video a like and thumbs up. Any support will really help the channel grow. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with any new videos that I have coming up next, please feel free to hit that notification bell so you'll stay up to date with all of my upcoming content. And that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.